subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. If you are wondering why you are so close to my face, it is because today is a brow tutorial day. I have been using a couple of products that I've become very, very much a fan of. I'm kind of like standing them, honestly. That's my new phrase now, standing. Because I just like the way it sounds. It sounds like I know what's going on, like I'm hip or whatever. So I'm standing them. So I'm actually using a number of things, but the things that are actually giving me the most, the things that are giving me the most eyebrow joy are the Colourpop Brow Boss pencil. It's double-ended. It's got both the color and the brow. And then the Anastasia Beverly Hills Colored Brow Gel. This bad boy right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brush my brows up. And I'm doing this on top of foundation. But I'm going to brush my brows up. They are freshly done, so that always makes everything easier. But whenever someone does your brows, you should have them go ahead and just brush those bad boys straight up so that you can see what they would look like. Up, 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 and then at the point out towards the angle. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brow gel, and I think this is probably one of the easiest brow routines I've done recently. Like it used to take me a really long time. Sometimes it still does, depending on how much hair I have growing. But this itty bitty little applicator is magical, and it actually ends up making hair-like strokes, so you cheat half the process. So I'm going to start not at the head, but kind of about that far in, and I'm just going to brush up lightly. And as you can see, it is dropping product. When I get to the point, I'm going to lay it down, make small strokes, small strokes, small strokes, small strokes, in the direction I want the brow hairs to go, but also the direction that I want those underlying strokes that this little bitty brush is making to go. So you see how it's pretty much made that. And at the end, I'm going to kind of go one more time. Oh, that's a little bit too much product, but it's okay. Make sure you wipe off the applicator. I'm going to go back in and get a little bit more, cleaning off the end. And then I'm going to go from here in. I'm going to have less and less pressure the closer I get to the head of my brow. Now straight up, 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 up. And then the great thing about this is that I can clean up afterwards with my concealer, which I find myself doing. Sometimes because there may be more on the brush than I intend for there to be, but other times because maybe I'm just not paying attention. But it happens. Take my Brow Boss and I'm going to line the bottom of the brow. And I'm starting not at the very head, but back here, and giving it pretty good pressure till I get to the point. And once I get here, then I'm going to start bringing it down and out at the angle that I like best. Depending on your face shape, you might bring it further out, you might bring it down, you might bring it up, just depends. And I'm also going to brush through my brows really quickly just so that the colors mix. But this shape is a shape that me and my brow girl kind of agreed upon. I'm going to now line the top, starting at the same place. I like the shape because the point is here where my eye, the corner of my eye is, but it's also where my brow starts to curve, which makes sense. So when I get to that point, the same point that I got to onto the bottom, I'm going to start bringing it out and down. So I'm bringing it out and down, but I'm trying to make the point happen. So when you go back with the brush, I'm brushing in the same direction as the strokes I made earlier. Thankfully, this gel doesn't harden very fast. I'm brushing it out into that shape, and then I kind of run the tip of it right on the outside to catch any hairs that are trying to run away. And then, using the same brush, going into the front end of the brow, I'm going to make short strokes straight up. Lightly add the line on the inside at the bottom, and lightly add it at the top. And keep stroking. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to use the brush to go straight up through that. There we go. Okay, so that's pretty much what my brow is going to look like. I'm going to clean it up, but first, you know, this is the one we've done. This is the one we haven't. Now, I'm a fan of fairly natural brows. They may be shaped, and they may still do the ombre thing, but I don't want them to be like stamps, like emoji stamps on your forehead. So this is the look that I go for. I'm gonna go and do the other brow. Same steps. And it's okay if the point isn't perfect, again, because one, you are going, well, brows are not supposed to be perfect. But anyway, one, because you can clean it up. But two, because you can clean it up. That's pretty much it. Okay, so let's just adding a little thickness to the bottom. I know some people don't do that, but this is my struggle brow, so I have to kind of finesse it a little bit. Going with the Huda Beauty Overachiever in peanut butter. Can you see that? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Any concealer will do. Just adding a little bit of that to the back of my hand. And grabbing what is currently my favorite brush for cleaning up my brows. Dash this, starting at the arch. I'm going to dash it up under and work it closer to the brow to get the shape that I want. Bring the same thing on the way in. And I don't like the halo effect where you've got like this really thick line of light and then you've got dark. So I tend to go a little bit light-handed, and then I blend down kind of as I go, because I feel like it gives me more control. So for the top of the brow, especially on this one over here where I had my little snafu, I'll need a little bit more attention for that. But I'm going to take the same brush, same technique, and I think I'll start at the front this time. I don't know if there's other people have a different preference, but start at the front. I'm pretty much just creating the shape and also cleaning up any runaways. Sometimes I'm straightening the line. It just depends. If you use a color that is exactly your foundation color or the color of your skin, I feel like it gives you a much more natural effect, and that's what I'm going for personally. All right, so the thing you're not going to do is you're not going to take the whole flat of the brush to try to erase this mistake. You still need to take your time and go for it, even though it seems really satisfying. It's not really how you want to handle it, because if it goes wrong, it goes way wrong. So I'm going to put my initial line there, and then I'll go back and build it up. Pat that with my finger. Yep. And then the question becomes, what mistake? I'm going to go back through my brows one more time. I see some spots that could use some more combing / blending, because that's essentially what you do. When you put something in your brow, when you comb through, you're not just directing the brow hairs, you're also blending, just like you would on your shadow. And just blending, taking your time, going through the brow gets you a really, really beautiful effect. There's a reason that a lot of folks don't do their brows on camera. Brows take time, especially when they're not feeling super cooperative. And so, as if they have feelings, sometimes they're just not super cooperative. So they do take time, and when you do them too fast, it doesn't work. Now, if you've got them tattooed on, you are, I mean, I guess technically you're ahead of the game. So that's dope. But not everybody has that. So to take your time a little bit. Now, because I have this on top of my foundation, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bitty bit of powder on a brush, the teeniest, tiniest bit, just to set it. And this is a translucent powder. This one is from Colourpop. It's in the banana color. They're no filter powder. It's going to go over the edge so that it doesn't move, because that would be the least fun thing, for the concealer to move. And doing this also helps it blend with your shadow. So that's also good. Even though I used a tinted brow gel, I'm still going to go over my brows one more time with just regular brow gel, just a clear one, just because mine, the hairs in my brows seem to be really uncooperative. So I'm going to use the gel just to kind of help them stay in the position they're in right now. And this is the brow gel from NYX. It's called Control Freak. It's one of my lovely budget Maven Star products. I think this sucker's like $5 or something at Ulta. So that's the end of my brow tutorial. I mean, I want to say that's all there is, but it's not really all there is. But that's what there is to it. If you'd like to see what the rest of this face looks like or how it came out, go down to the bottom and click the link. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you found it helpful. I hope that you did not mind being this close to my face for the entire video. This was not a special request, but it was kind of a special request. A lot of people asked me about my brows. So that's how I do them right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're already subscribed. If you're not, subscribe. I just showed you my brows. Subscribe. It's very personal. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao for now.